So think about all the Halloween costumes you've been, from your first Halloween all the way until your most recent Halloween. I'm going to do that here today. In fact, I'm going to take a look at every single one of my Halloween costumes that I've been throughout my entire life, and I'm going to put them in a tier list and rank them to get in the Halloween spirit. So let's go. So the first one up, I believe, is my first Halloween costume ever. It's Alfalfa from, I think, The Little Rascals. So yes, growing up, I've never actually watched that. It was way before my time when that came out. It was an old movie. I'm sure it's cool. Not much to say besides, when you're older and you look back at yourself in the past, it's like you kind of cringe at yourself. But yes, so this one, it's cool, I guess. My dad is a hairdresser. He cuts hair for a living, so he was able to make my hair look like the character in the movie. That's pretty cool. Next up is Humpty Dumpty. We all know Humpty Dumpty. He's the egg that fell off of this place and he died. This one's pretty cool. It's just your basic costume. Next up, we have the generic teddy bear, I'm pretty sure. I'm standing next to whatever that creepy thing is. Okay, so another basic costume that you could have bought at any store. Next up is Pinocchio. And there's my dad right there. He has a really cool costume. It's definitely cooler than the one that I'm wearing. But yeah, that one's not too bad. It's definitely a bit cooler than the previous ones. And next up we have Ratatouille, or Ratatouille. How do you pronounce that properly? I don't know. But this was one of my favorite movies growing up, and I'm pretty sure I dressed up as this character the year that it came out. That's probably the year that this was taken. So yes, that was pretty cool. Ah yes, my favorite, SpongeBob SquarePants. You guys know I'm a big SpongeBob fan. Now this one's interesting because I'm actually the pirate version of SpongeBob, so that's a bit more creative as I have the SpongeBob costume, but it's also the pirate version. I don't think it was meant to be that way, but we just made it our own pirate SpongeBob, so that's actually pretty cool. So points for creativity there. Next up is Mario. I'm pretty sure most of us have been one of the Mario characters at least once in our life for Halloween. And yes, I was a pretty good Mario, I also built a career off of that character, so this one is pretty cool. Next up, oh baby, smoking! We got The Mask, Jim Carrey, The Mask, one of my favorite movies ever. During this time, I was a big Jim Carrey fan because my dad showed me The Mask, and then I started watching all the Jim Carrey movies in first grade, so I was very young. I was probably, 7 or 8 years old. And The Mask was my favorite one, and I remember being in first grade, trying to learn the Cuban Pete dance, because I was going to do it at school to impress my crush or something. Spoiler alert, I didn't do it, so that kind of sucks. But yes, I made my parents go on eBay to buy a really old Mask costume. It is one that you can just buy at the store, but, I mean, come on. I was born in 2003, and this was probably 2011 or 10, so I grew up with the freaking Mask, and I was born in the 2000s. That's pretty freaking cool. Next up is the Grim Reaper with no mask. So this was actually inspired by The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I was actually trying to be that character and not actually the Grim Reaper because I had no mask on. If I wanted to be the real Grim Reaper, I would have wore the mask. I remember, funny enough, this night, because the Grim Reaper is a pretty popular character for Halloween. So there was this lady that I walked up to her house to get some candy, and she had accused me of being some kid from earlier who was also the Grim Reaper, but I took off my mask and tried to get more candy, but no, I didn't do that. I just don't have a mask, period. So she accused me for being somebody else. But next up is Steve from Minecraft. Yes, so this one's actually really cool because I made this one myself, As you see, I'm wearing a generic blue shirt, I got the diamond sword, and then there's this cardboard mask. So nowadays, I'm sure there's Minecraft Steve or Minecraft costumes in general everywhere. You can go to the Halloween stores or wherever. I tend to like things before they're famous, and I notice a pattern. I'll like something, and I want to be for Halloween, and I have to make my own costume, and then a year later, there's official costumes. And that goes for TV shows, movies. I just have a thing where I can predict when things are going to be a hit. So I made this costume before they were actual Minecraft costumes. So that was pretty cool. And I remember on the streets, there were kids screaming saying, "Steve, we love you!" I was popular wearing this costume. There were kids who were big Minecraft fans, and I was definitely popular on the random streets of the Halloween night that night. But next up is Weird Al Yankovic. Do you guys know Weird Al Yankovic? Weird Al Yankovic is the king of the parody. He was the first one to make parody songs, legit. Weird Al Yankovic is great. If you don't know him, go go look up Weird Al Yankovic. And, you know, like I said, I was born in 2003, but I like Weird Al Yankovic and Jim Carrey movies. So, like, it's really cool that I got to grow up with, like, some of the old stuff that I didn't, you know, have in my childhood. But yes, Weird Al Yankovic's cool. I've been to 2 of his concerts. I think 3, actually. And this costume's cool. So I specifically wanted to be modern Weird Al and not, you know, like old school Weird Al. So that's why there's, like, no beard here. There's just hair, accordion, a nice shirt. Looks like one of the ones that he would wear. This is definitely one of the better costumes. Next up here we have Freddy Fazbear. So you guys just heard the Steve story where nowadays you can find Minecraft stuff everywhere. So this was before Five Nights at Freddy's became this massive franchise. And once again, you see, here's the Fanlock's pattern. I like things before they're famous and before they're cool. So right here, I'm supposed to be Freddy Fazbear. It's a generic scary bear mask with some scary teeth. I had the plushie actually, which that was one of the first ever Five Nights at Freddy's plushies made. And you know, now you can go into Walmart and just find them everywhere. But I was into Five Nights at Freddy's before it was cool, before it was everywhere. So this is my very own Freddy Fazbear costume. I'm sure now there's official Freddy Fazbear costumes. I'm sure you could go there right now and buy them. But yes, next up is when I started to like WWE, and this is Roman Reigns, the big dog Roman Reigns, not the new Roman Reigns, but this is the big dog Roman Reigns. That is a custom Universal Championship because at the time the belt was red and they didn't sell that yet because it was so new. So that's a custom made championship with red duct tape, and the mask is pretty cool. We had to search pretty far and wide to find that mask. And the belt was cool, the vest and all that with the fake muscles. I bought that. It was like a little like role play kit that they sold, and it was great. This is definitely one of the better ones. And then last but not least, my final Halloween ever, I was the phenomenal AJ Styles, man. With those gloves, nice expensive jacket, replica toy belt, and my hair is just long, kind of like Styles, so it kind of worked. And yes, and that was my last ever Halloween, because I decided I'm going to stop eating candy, so, like, there was, like, no use. I like dressing up, I like acting, but, you know, I was getting older, and I just didn't really want to, like, trick-or-treat anymore. So this is my last Halloween. That was 2017. What a way to end it on. But now, we got to make this tier list right now. Alright, so I've had a pretty good track record of cool costumes over the years, so my costumes didn't really rank that low. That's probably because I'm either really narcissistic or the costumes are just cool. So in C tier, we have 5 costumes here. We have the bear, just because, you know, it's kind of generic, you know. Who hasn't been a freaking teddy bear, right? And then Humpty Dumpty is also kind of generic as well, so C. And then Mario's here because everybody's Mario. Who hasn't been Mario? Where's the originality? And then Ratatouille's here too because it is just a bodysuit and, you know, anyone could do it. And then I put the Grim Reaper down here, not because it's a bad idea, because I was trying to portray the Billy character from the cartoon Billy and Mandy, but not many people got the reference. I'm just a freaking Grim Reaper with, like, no mask. So, like, while I was trying to be creative, it didn't quite land, so that's why that is C tier. And that's it for the C tier. Now up for the B tier, we've got 3. We've got Alfalfa on here because since my dad is a hairdresser, he was able to like stick my hair up, which was actually pretty creative. We also entered in like Halloween costume contest, and I'm pretty sure I might have won a few of them, so that's pretty cool. And then we have the Pinocchio, because I think this one just looks cooler. Like, I think I pulled this character off pretty dang well. And then we also have SpongeBob here. Now, this one is a bit higher on the list. Now, yes, it is the generic SpongeBob costume that everyone has, but I put my own twist on it with the pirate thing, so that's points for creativity, so that one gets the B. And now on to the A tier. We've got AJ Styles here, not because the costume's bad, but because it was 2017, it was my last Halloween, I was kind of over it. The costume was really good, but it's just like I was over Halloween at that point. I thought I was too old, too cool for school, so that gets A tier. But then we also have Steve here and Freddy Fazbear, so both of these characters, you know, are ahead of their time. Steve was pretty good, but like the costume does look a little awkward just looking at it. And then Freddy Fazbear's down here, you know, I was creative with it, you know, I did it before everyone else did, but the costume just kind of looks weird. Like, if you look at this, you're not going to think it's Freddy Fazbear. Like, if you take away the little plushie here, it's like, you're not going to know that that's Freddy Fazbear. but it's on A tier as opposed to the lower tiers because I did it before anyone else because I'm the OG. And now on for the 3 S tiers. We have Weird Al Yankovic because I think I did a really good job with finding the perfect clothes for this, and the wig was like perfect, and then the accordion I had, that was like a toy accordion, and like it actually like made sound. So like all throughout the night I was walking the streets and I was playing the accordion all night, and I was like playing music, and like some people on the streets were like cheering me on. So that is why that one is on S tier. And then next up is The Mask because I played the character. Yes, this is a costume that anyone could buy, but I was charismatic enough to play the character. Anyone in my first grade class could have told you that I was obsessed with The Mask, and I would try to be as charismatic as Jim Carrey. So that's why this one gets the S tier. And then, of course, last is Roman Reigns because I played this character really well. In WWE, people boo Roman Reigns, so like people on the streets were like booing me. So that's why those 3 get S tier. And those guys are my Halloween costumes ranked. So thank you guys for watching. Who have you been for Halloween, and what was your favorite Halloween costumes, and also what were your least favorite Halloween costumes that you've done? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Happy Halloween, have fun, eat candy, dress up, do whatever you want to do. I'm Vanlox, and peace out.